What's up, guys? It's Christian, and today I want to talk to you about this really incredible spiritual experience that actually just happened to me. And I'm really excited to tell you about it. It was one of the coolest spiritual experiences and most impactful and beautiful spiritual experiences I've had in my entire life. So it all started about an hour ago when I was thinking about a new video idea. I was actually going to record a completely different video, which I'm probably going to record that one next week. But I was sitting there thinking, and I started kind of thinking about how awesome it's going to be in a decent amount in the future when I have children, probably about 10 years from now, because I'm only 23 right now. And I was thinking about it and I was like, wow, it's going to be so amazing when I have kids because I'm going to be able to teach them this energy awareness that I have learned. And I'm going to raise them understanding their feelings and having them able to really connect with others and understand what's going on in their own psyche. So I was thinking about that. And then I started to think about some things my dad had told me when I was younger, which my dad is a really spiritual person too. He doesn't particularly meditate or study metaphysics, but he is very connected with nature. He surfs every day and he has been very connected with ideas about the universe and about our origins and our souls. And he has really ingrained that into me since I was young. And that's definitely a huge part of the reason that I went on the journey that I did. And I am the person that I am now. So he would always tell me about how when he was a kid, I think he started when he was like a teenager and then he carried it on till he was like 35. But he had a tape recorder and he would do an audio diary where he would basically talk to his future children, which is me and my two younger brothers. So he still has these, and I've heard them. It's so awesome to listen to them because you can hear his intentions when he was younger and how curious he was of what we were going to be like, what we are going to look like, what our personalities were going to be like. And it's been really awesome to hear that. I'm actually going to ask him to show me them again next time I am down at my parents' house. So I was thinking about that and I started to get this opening in my heart. I started to really feel a connection towards the younger version of my dad. Because I remember he had been talking to a future version of me that wasn't there at the time. So I started to intuitively start to speak to the past version of him through my heart because I'm a firm believer that the heart actually exists outside of space and time. And no, if you're a logical person and you're thinking, are you talking about the heart organ? No, I'm not talking about the heart organ. I'm talking about the heart chakra, the heart center of energy, the actual center of our magnificent energy. I think that that center is actually existing permanently outside of space and time. So I think you can actually time travel to meet people from the past and the future and connect with them and give them energy and love through your heart right now in this moment. Because while the heart is not in the timeline of the present and space and time, it is always in the eternal now, which is what we permanently exist in. So I started communicating with his past self, and I could feel him communicating from the past to me, and I could feel the love coming from him. And I started to redirect it back to him and started to give him reaffirmations like, don't worry, everything that you're doing right now is exactly what you need to be doing. Every productive day you have, every lazy day, every mistake you make, every amazing choice that you make, every person you meet, every conversation you have is exactly what you need to be doing to create me and my brothers and the life that he has now. And then I started to get this weird feeling that I was actually talking to myself. I'll let that sit for a second. I was actually talking to myself now. And that blew me away. And then it got even crazier. I realized it wasn't actually me talking to myself now, it was one of my future children talking to me now. So, how much of a trip is that? It's kind of like in those time travel movies where there's this cyclical pattern where the hero of the story starts out on his journey and then he goes and does a lot of things and thinks that a lot of it is done on his own. But then he gets to a certain point, time travels back, and then like hides in the bushes and manipulates reality in order to have the his earlier self go through the exact things that he needs to happen in order for things to exist how they did now. I think they talk about, I think in Back to the Future was one of the big movies that talked about that. I remember in the Pokemon Celebi movie that I watched when I was a kid, they had themes like that. It was a really awesome experience. And I could feel myself connecting to my dad when he was younger. And I could feel my future children connecting to me now. And as I was giving my dad advice of just reaffirming that everything that he is doing right now is perfect, he's doing everything the exact way that it was intended, and he's trying his best, and that trying to tell him, don't worry. Don't worry when you're sad. Don't worry when you are confused. Everything is perfect and everything is on this divine plan that is going to end up where I am now and where he is now, where he has an amazingly happy life and a beautiful wife who's my mom and three beautiful boys, me including as one of them. So it was a really profound experience and really beautiful. And to me, it was the spiritual equivalent of time traveling. So I really felt like I was outside of the realm of space and time, and I was actually connecting with not only my dad from the past, but also my children from the future. So it was an amazing experience and it really opened my heart. I started sobbing and crying and I was so grateful. And everything that I was telling the past version of my dad was exactly what I needed to hear now. It it was really awesome. And I really think that this is a really good thing for you to start thinking about. Start to notice how your heart is in a whole different arena than your mind. Your mind plays the games of matter and time and space, but the heart doesn't play those games. The heart is on the divine plan. The heart is connected to eternal reality, and the heart is connected to the eternal beauty that is buried within the now that we all have access to, but we don't all know how to get to it. Another thing that it really pointed out to me is that time and space are just dimensions. In the same way that I could drag my finger along space by going across here, and when I'm here, it doesn't mean that here doesn't exist anymore. I hope that makes sense. When I travel along the space continuum, just because I'm here, it doesn't mean that here is gone now. But we think of time in this way. We think that as time progresses, that the past just disappears. But it's not true. We are actually on this dimension of time, and every single point on that line still exists. So every single beautiful moment that you experienced as a kid is actually happening right now. In the eternal now, that beautiful moment is still happening. If you are missing a loved one that's passed away, just know that all of the amazing, beautiful experiences you shared with them still exist in the eternal now, as complete as they were when you experienced them. All that's happening is that your consciousness is going through a shift in perspective where you're no longer able to access it as fully. But with the heart, you can tune into the love that that moment has and connect with it. So that's how you can time travel and reconnect with people from your past or even to people in the future. And I'm not saying that I could see the future because that is a mental thing. If I was understanding the future or understanding the unknown past, that would be a mental thing. And I'm not saying that the mind exists eternally and in all dimensions and can see the future and the past. I'm saying that the heart exists there and you can connect to the love that is in each and every moment of your past life, future life, and the eternal now. Thank you so much for watching. I extremely appreciate it. I just started making YouTube videos, and my goal is to help people integrate spirituality into their life in a practical way because I see way too many people getting caught up in their heads thinking about all of these esoteric concepts and angel numbers and angels and psychic readings, and there's a certain place for that. I'm not saying that stuff isn't real. I'm saying that your main focus in spirituality should be connecting to the heart, doing the inner work of processing your trauma, and building a much better life in the current moment and helping yourself to connect with others and heal others. And that's what I'm here to help you do. So if you liked this content, I really recommend that you subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be putting out a lot more content on practical spirituality and how you can really enhance your life with spirituality. So thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you next time.